disastrously wrong. You don't know I'm playing.
So, I used to be a folk singer. Before all this shit happened. And I started off at Barnsley Folk Club. By show of hands, is there anybody here that's ever been to a folk club? 7 of you, right. This might need a little bit of explaining. Folk music is a wonderful thing. You kind of hark back to times gone by, and Barnsley Folk Club was brilliant. It's produced some amazing musicians over the years. People like Jamie Roberts, Catherine Roberts, Kate Rusby, Dave Burland, and me. Spot the odd one out. I used to go to Barnsley Folk Club when I was about 15, 16, and it was kind of where I first started to play in front of an audience. And I learnt a lot from playing folk clubs. One of the things I learned was that they don't like acoustic versions of Highway to Hell by AC/DC. I learned that on my first visit. They don't like it if you've not tuned up before you start. But I'll tell you what they love. They love long songs. And the first time I went, now if you've never been to a folk club, it's quite strange because you kind of sit in a circle, like Alcoholics Anonymous, but with booze. And you sit in this circle and you wait for your turn. And if you've tuned up, all's good. But on my turn, and I was waiting to play Highway to Hell, much to their disappointment. But before me, there was a lady that stood up. And she sang this song, and I no word of a lie, it must have had about 97 verses. During that song, the Titanic sank, an orphanage burnt down, and everybody in the song died. And they were all sat there with their fingers in their ears, singing along every time we got to the chorus in their Aran sweaters. And I just thought, this is for me. I might need to do something about the knitwear, but this is for me. But it was quite the experience. I then found out about this little band called Fairport Convention. Some of you are familiar with their work. And Fairport are what I can only describe as an institution. In fact, my late friend Martin Alcock, who once was in Fairport, described them as an English drinking side. I wrote this song because I heard Fairport playing this song called Maggie Groves. And I thought, that's a long song. It's about 15 verses. I thought, I can do better than that. This one's got 27 verses. And I wrote it about the lady who got up and sang the song about the burning orphanage. Now, to protect the guilty in this song, I've changed her name to make her slightly more amenable and slightly more likeable. So I named her after 2 Tory politicians, and I'm fully aware of the fact I'm behind enemy lines tonight. But what I love about Lichfield is you've got a politician locally to here who knows how to wear a hairpiece. I understand that he's playing the part of Bjorn Doonican in the House of Parliament Christmas Panto at the minute. I'm not here to judge, I'm just going to tell you his hair's shit. Is he here? And he's here tonight! Now, this song, I figured that I would make her slightly more likeable by naming her after 2 Tory politicians, so it's called the Broadside Ballad of Maggie Gove. You can already see what she's like, can't you? cock up then. Bank holiday on the 1st of May is the best one of the year. Why, I plan to spend good company and most of me wage on beer. To Barnsley Folk Club I did go to have fun with my peers. I heard their sing-around was good, their ale and atmosphere. Well, the very first rule of Folk Club is not to talk of it, or the world of beige contained inside in Aaron or double knit. I turned up open-minded because I'm an open-minded bloke, and if the future of folk depends on it, we've got no chuffing hope. Cause I waited for my turn to come, I tuned up in advance, but before I got my chance to shine, I lost my chuffing chance. Cause who jumped up but Margaret Gove, and everyone did yawn. She's the queen of the epic broadside song of 70 verses long. Da 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 da. Sing! Da 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 da. Normally I've got a band behind me to do that bit, so you're gonna have to be the band tonight. Well, old Maggie's been on the folk scene since Moses was a lad. She loves boring song after boring song, but only if they are trad. No Fairport or Bob Dylan, cause they're too modern for Maggie Gove. Every song she sings begins in May, cause that's when wild rovers rove. Songs of maidens young and fair, going down by the greenwood side, with knackered moral compasses, their legs spread open wide. Or sea shanties about whaling fleets, or ballads of wars long gone. Nothing breaks the stride of Maggie Gove, no, she just rambles on. Now I've learnt the rules about folk songs. They're about sex, death and politics, or burning folk in a wicker man under a solar eclipse. But certain folk songs trouble me. What's all the fuss about Maidenhead? And why do all the happy couples always end up dead? And why do comely maidens have fun rolling in the hay before the bombshells quaintly drop that the merry ploughboy's gay? Da 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 da. Your turn. Sing. Da 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 da. Well done. Well, back now to my tale of woe, although I did digress, cause it took the length of the last 7 verses for all things to progress. After a 10-minute introduction of where she collected it, well, I knew right then that Maggie's song would be a steaming pile of shit. True. Then Maggie Gove composed herself, and she coughed and cleared her throat, and then unaccompanied she sang like she kick-started a goat. With a finger placed tight in her ear, she meandered through her tune, but apparently both fingers in mine makes me extremely rude. And the rest of the bearded folky folk had heard her drone before, but little did I know at verse 60 there were another 54. Well, my beer glass soon ran empty, but folk etiquette dictates you don't leave your seat until the singer's done, no matter how long it takes. Her boring ballad blundered on as dread consumed that place, and if Cecil Sharp came back right now, I'd shoot him in the face. Survival instinct consumed me, well, I'd not be press gang yet, and I took my chance while I still could have thought bollocks to etiquette. Long before she reached a final verse, I lost my mind and cracked, and I I put my guitar back in its case and vowed to ne'er go back. While I left that most archaic place, browbeaten, mentally scarred, I'd consider other music clubs, but jazz is much too hard. Cheers.